Well, I'm not sure how that first video went, so I decided to make a second one since I had so much time in the McDonald's drive-thru to think about it. It's such a small town, it's crazy. I think everybody in Washtenaw County was at the Milan McDonald's today, even that asshole. I don't know why people can't drive around here, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I wanted to upload, I did an interview 9 months ago on a podcast called Ruck Up. It's operated by a guy named Joel Ness. I've been trying to upload it to my YouTube, but YouTube is giving me all sorts of problems, so I figured I'd talk a little bit about it. I been in security for 20 plus years, and it's as I said before, it's some of the greatest moments and it's some of the worst moments of my life. When I started out, pay was garbage, and that's gone up a little bit, but now since there's so many people available to work with this COVID, I can see a lot of these jobs are going back down to $9.50, $10, which is an absolute shame. Every site's dangerous. Especially when you're dealing with people. Be it at a company or an event. You can't really control on how those people are going to react. So I think $10 is kind of shameful, especially the guys who do it with the patrols. It's unbelievable. But anyway, this year, COVID's. I had 16 events that either I was going to do or be a part of. All of them been canceled. That was from April to August or September. We had some opportunities to head out west again this year, or even down south to work. The opportunities that we missed because of that is horrible. I'm staying alive, or we're staying alive, but luckily my significant other, she's really been pulling, been doing a lot to help the cause, and I hate it, but I'm glad to have her, because I'm not sure where I would be without her. All this kind of snuck up on all of us. I've talked to a couple other companies of maybe doing a couple things, or even a site, but nothing's really came to fruition. I'm also, one of the big opportunities down south. I was trying to hold out, for that, but I don't, as it doesn't look like it's going to happen. The one positive thing about, security this year is I don't talk a lot about them on my Facebook page or any of my social media. I have a, 22-year-old son that up to this summer wasn't part of the business. He did ask to do a couple events, but the ones that he were asking were, I didn't know how successful he would be jumping into, a big event. Whenever I bring anyone in, regardless of how I feel about them, you want to set the person up for success. I've never been a guy just to fill gaps, which is probably why I'm not sitting in a $200,000 house right now. I've always operated with treating people well, and then, if they're going to work 16 hours, then they're going to get paid well for it. And that's how you can kind of tell the real good ones. Like most professions, the better group of people that do this, it's just a gift they have. It's they love it. I've seen guys work 36 hours, and I'd have to force to go to sleep. Because they didn't want to miss a thing, and they wanted to be there, and those are good guys. But anyway, he took a job working security for Eloise. Eloise is it's an old poorhouse. You know, it's a insane asylum. You know, back in its heyday, you know, it was huge. If you're familiar with Eloise on Michigan Avenue, as you go from the cemetery over, that was all Eloise, up to the middle part of the road. Michigan Avenue wasn't a 2-lane or a 4-lane road at the time, and went all the way to the road behind it where the current mental facility operates. You know, and it's haunted. You know, it's a big Halloween attraction, and you know, they have security all year round. And you know, I haven't heard all the plans, but from some of the plans that I've heard about the place, I think they're going to do extremely well. It seems like the owners have the right direction and the heart to do it. You know, Anthony has eaten it up. You know, he has done extremely well there. You know, from what I could tell, you know, how his bosses react to him, you know, how he reacts to his bosses. You know, I have to say it's a pretty proud moment. You know, the kid hasn't had anything easy for him. You know, everything that he's done, you know, right or wrong, you know, he's done it on his own. You know, I've only helped him, you know, money-wise once. Other than that, you know, I know his mom's helped him out. But anyway, you know, and he seems to love it. And like I said, it's you know, next year if you get a chance, they have tours. They have a history tour, and then they have a haunted tour that you can take. You know, I recommend, as long as the COVID's not, you know, still in its current state, you know, I recommend you head over there and do both of them. Do the history one and the haunted one. You know, he said a couple stories. You know, I'll leave that to him. You know, that's his story. That's something that he needs to tell. You know, he's doing it right. I mean, he's going to pick up a ton of experience there. Not only dealing with, you know, an owner. To me, it was always easier when I was working security for the guy or for the company, and not in a contractor role. You know what I mean? The contractor role, they really don't give a shit about you, and you know what I mean, and just replace you just to replace you. But when you're dealing with them, then you get to deal with the owners, and things get a little more personal. You know, the only thing I told him is you know, do, you know, everything on their post orders, do it as it's written. Try to do everything you can for them, for the success, because the more money they make, the more money you're going to make. And lastly, don't ever lie to your client. You know, you don't want to be that guy. You want to make sure that, you know, they know if you're going to tell them a thing, or if they're going to come to you for a thing, that you're not going to bullshit them. You're going to tell them exactly what happened, exactly what's wrong, and if you messed up, then you need to own up to it. And he's hit the ground running. Like, I can see a complete change in his personality. I can see a complete change, you know, the way he carries himself. And I'm glad. You know, I hope it works out. And you know, I never pushed him into the industry because I know how tough it is. You know, I kind of let him swim his own way. And when it came up, you know, of course he, you know, asked for help or asked for suggestions, and I'm glad for him. Eloise is an amazing place, and it's already been on Travel Channel and Discovery a couple times. I think Destination Fear was there last year, and then, you know, I think there was a few more of them there this year. So that's about it. You know, I wanted to make this because I wasn't sure how the first video on the way there turned out. But if I can, might do them both, but they both turned out well. But if you're in the security industry and you have any questions or anything like that, I'm always open. And as most people will tell you, that, you know, any consulting that I've done, 70% of the time I don't even charge for it. Of course it doesn't help my current situation, but when you're dealing with people's safety, it shouldn't be a secret. You know what I mean? Like the security companies that you trade secret. I mean, that's, to me, there's no room for it when you're dealing with officer safety, or if you're a venue. There's no room for industry secrets. But anyway, have a great day.